My name is Stephen King. Spent some time in the dark.
Please don't let us be in the dark.
Help me. I'm gonna scare the hell out of you. And that's a promise.
Oh, welcome to Castle Rock Radio. I am Max Booth.
And I am Lori Michelle.
And this is the Stephen King Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, as always.
Always.
Always, even when you won't tune in. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Today we are discussing Children of the Corn 2.
The Final Sacrifice.
Which is funny because there's like 5 other sequels after that.
Yes. They were getting ahead of themselves. They thought, you know what? This is going to be the last one.
Never mind. We're going to keep going.
Also, the last one of the series to be released theatrically.
Yes. So I guess that was the final sacrifice of moviegoers everywhere.
Yeah. No more theater bucks. Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. So kick back as you drive on your commute.
Drink a tasty beverage.
Open a brew as you drive the milk. Maybe don't do that.
No, don't do that.
I don't know. Maybe do we get a lot of felonels listening?
Probably not. But if they're reaping corn right now, this might be appropriate.
You know what they say. I don't
know. What do they say?
You sow what you reap is another thing.
You reap what you
reap
sow.
what you sow. I don't know. I'm not a felonel.
Another dimension has possessed the children.
She is the first to be sacrificed!
It's controlling their minds and feeding their hate. They're home alone, but their parents are never coming back. Based on the story by the master of terror, Stephen King, comes the conclusion. Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice.
So, just a heads up, folks. We're both dying of allergies this week, so if we sound kind of stuffy, a little sniffly, snotty, that's why.
We're allergic to South Texas.
It's hitting us pretty bad this week.
Yeah.
Especially today. But the show must go on, as
somebody
Abraham Lincoln said.
I don't think it was Abraham Lincoln.
He tried to.
I think it was P.T. Barnum that said that.
Yeah, right before he
murdered an elephant or something.
Shit. The Greatest Showman, my ass.
You have The Greatest Showman in your ass?
Yeah, The Greatest Showman, my ass.
Awesome.
The dogs are also really adventurous right now. They're confused because we have not been on the couch all day.
And they're like, we need our laps. Where are our laps to sit in?
We just had to pause the podcast for 10 minutes to hold them in our laps. And they just licked their gums for a while. But yes, as we said up top, we were talking about Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice. A few months ago, maybe even a year ago, when did we talk about the original novella movie with Jeremiah Israel?
It's been almost a year, but...
Oh my god.
I'm not sure exactly. I've lost track of time. Time has no meaning. Time is a flat circle.
Time is a flat crop circle.
A flat crop circle?
Yes. How are there so many Children of the Corn movies?
I don't know.
I mean, read the list.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
In 84, we have the original.
Right.
92, 6 years later, The Final Sacrifice comes out. 95,
Children of Corn 3, Urban Harvest. Then in 96, 4, The Gathering. 98, 5, Fields of Terror.
We're just cranking them out in this decade.
99, they were cute, and it's Children of the Corn 666, very nice.
Isaac's Return.
In 2001, they stopped numbering them. It just became Revelation.
In 2009, I believe this is a remake they did, just called Children of the Corn.
I think that might be just for TV, though.
Oh, it's a TV movie?
I think so, because it's from Fox 21 Television Studios.
I don't know.
Then in 2011, we have Genesis. And then in 2018, we have Runaway.
Yeah, that was the newest one. And fuck, it's a lot of them.
It's a lot of corns. Especially for a story that wasn't that great to begin with.
I just think the idea...
The idea is
of
cool.
kill kids just as popular themselves, maybe.
I don't know. I really honestly don't know.
You can just take that idea and run with it with so many different possibilities that all suck.
They all suck.
Yes. So Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice, the second installment of what is obviously not the final sacrifice. Makes me think of that terrible movie, The Final Sacrifice.
I don't know what movie that is.
You know, the one that Mystery Science Theater 3000 did.
Oh.
Rouse Hour.
Oh, is that Rouse Hour?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the name of
Rouse Hour.
Rouse
I could be wrong. I don't know things. This one came out in 92. It was directed by David Price, who I don't know who that is. But he was the son of Frank Price, who Wikipedia tells me was a famous producer of such movies as Out of Africa and other things.
Out of Africa to Children of the Corn.
I mean, I don't think his dad had anything to do with this.
Probably not.
Who knows? Do we know what Stephen King's involvement was in this?
I don't think there was any. I think it's just the name. Do you think they
even told him?
I don't know, because I think he would be like, what the fuck did you just do?
If it was a story, like in some interview he did, it could have been talking about Children of the Corn. I don't know now, but it was one of the times when they made a movie out of one of his books. Then some time passed, and he went to like Blockbuster, and he saw a sequel to that movie made. No one had ever told him. It just came out.
Surprise!
So it might have been this.
It might have been this.
It could have been Killer. It could have been Lawnmower Man.
Yeah. Well, this would be about the same time that Lawnmower Man came out, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
I don't remember when Lawnmower Man
came out. I don't know.
You're supposed to know these things.
Back to the movie we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The Final Sacrifice. It was written by A.L. Katz and Gilbert Adler. I don't know who those people are.
Didn't A.L. Katz have something to do with Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah, they both worked on a bunch of the TV shows.
Yeah.
I think Tales from the Crypt was one of them.
Katz just, that name sticks out, and I think it was from Tales from the Crypt.
Probably.
I don't know.
We also mentioned that this was the last one of the series to be released theatrically.
Yes.
Both of us are surprised.
Not.
This movie opens with an overly long credit sequence.
It's a really long credit sequence.
Playing over a bunch of scenes of just corn.
Yes.
That has been negative imaged.
Yeah, it's like a negative infrared.
Yeah, it does not look as cool as the filmmaker thought it would. we see a lot of this negative corn
A
imaging,
lot of negative corn.
and it looks so stupid.
It's like the person discovered it on Photoshop. Oh, look what I can do!
Yeah, like they had it already made. Then he saw this filter. I was like, well, what is this? He clicked it.
He's like, oh shit! Let's use it!
I'm a goddamn cinematographer now. It does not look skilly. It looks stupid. Of all the things that I would put negative, corn? No, that's pretty lame.
Corn is pretty lame.
So, I mean, everybody probably knows what happened in the original novella and movie, which are mostly the same. How the children worship this demon, this god, he who walks among the rows.
Is it among the rows or behind the rows?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but it's some dude.
Stupid. It's too long of a name. Just call him he. He who.
He who.
Ooh, watch out for he who.
It does That does not
Sounds
scare
like
you at
something
all.
a child would call the dick.
I gotta go wash my ewe.
The movie begins with it's in Gatlin still, and
Right.
it's the aftermath of the last movie. Most of the kids are dead, except for a select few.
Right.
And reporters will storming the town. The cops are like, "Oh my god!"
Well, and there's more dead adults.
Yes.
Which, was there a lot of dead adults in the last one? I
They
thought they
were
were
all
already
dead.
dead. Yeah, so it's like, okay, did they kill more adults, or are we just...
What do you mean?
It's like the first one, at the end of it,
Yes.
there was...
They were dead. So
They were
what are you
dead.
talking about? Mill dead.
Well, it's like, okay, they killed them all in the beginning of the movie, and there was no adults at all in that movie. So
Yeah.
were these the same adults that they killed at the beginning?
I'm assuming so.
Or
Yeah.
what?
That's what I gathered from
I have
it.
no idea.
It seemed like that was what was going on.
It's all good. Anyhow, just a bunch of dead people.
The first scene in the movie, this reporter is talking into the screen like it's a teleprompter thing.
Right.
And in the background is like the other news programs and kids is in like this field in a church or
Yeah.
something. Buses and cornfields. But the reporter, he's talking to the screen, and the screen just slowly lifts up and like pans away, but the reporter doesn't seem to notice, and you realize, oh, that's not the camera he's supposed to be talking in. But for a split second, it looks ridiculous because he continues talking, facing absolutely nothing, until eventually a cameraman just kind of steps up to him.
You're right. It was kind of weird.
It was a ridiculous view. But yeah, the camera pans up, and we see all these different kids being ushered into a bus.
Right. Because all their parents are dead.
Right, and so these kids are supposed to be innocent, is what I'm gathering.
Supposedly. Well, I mean, they've just lost all their parents.
But they know other kids have killed everybody, so why do they think these kids weren't involved?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but they're ushering every single child onto one bus, which seems like a terrible idea if children have just killed every adult in the town.
Yeah, let's put them all together. Whee!
And they'll take them to some other place. What's Hemmingfield?
Something. It's like the town next to it.
It's not that far away, right?
No, it was like a couple miles, if that. Because at some point, they go back to Gatlin, and it was like right there.
It's like a block away.
Yeah, exactly.
How does no one in this little town, how did they not pick up on what was going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's all that damn corn.
And while, like, we'll see in all these different policemen and journalists and children, the camera keeps cutting to this one specific child wearing all black. And what's his name? Micah?
Mika. I think it's Micah.
Micah. And every time we get a close-up on this kid, which happens at least 200 times in this movie, we get a strange, like, knife sliding out of a sheath sound effect.
Right.
It's supposed to signify suspense, but it's just odd. So I guess we should talk about this kid. Well, I guess you should talk about this kid.
I should talk about this kid?
The guy who plays the kid.
Ryan Bowman, who is the guy that plays Micah in this movie, used to write a column for Dark Eclipse, which was our electronic version of Dark Moon Digest back in the day. It came out every month. And he used to write, like, snippets about movies that he had seen, hey, this is a good movie, this movie sucks.
So, yeah, like a book review column.
Yeah, it was a movie review column.
Review, my bad.
So, anyway, yes, he is kind of indirectly related to us somehow.
He's been in a bunch of other things, too, huh?
Yeah, when he was younger.
Not so much now.
A few things here and there, but nothing to comment on.
I mean, I could think of Bill Fates, Bill Child Actor.
Yeah.
I mean, Corey Feldman has that band, and Ryan Bowman had a
column for Dark Eclipse. He was a nice guy. I used to email him every once in a while.
So, the protagonist of this movie
Yes.
is
John.
named John.
Yes. And we cut to him driving a car with his son. Dan.
Right, his teenager who's
Right.
just full of angst.
He's not real happy. You know, his father's never been there for him. Why do I have to come spend the summer with you? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he's being a typical dickhead kid.
Right. But of
And-
course, if his father's never been there for him, he probably has a right.
Yeah. John, he is a tabloid rival, we discover.
Yes.
Because on the way to the Gatlin
Murder
death scene,
Yeah.
he doesn't really know what it is. He just knows there's a big hot scoop of a story.
And he's late because his son missed the original plane and landed late wherever he landed. I guess Omaha.
Nebraska.
Well, Omaha's in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a true fact.
It is a true fact. So they're driving like maniacs
Right.
to get there.
And they almost wreck into this rival news van who's
Right.
coming back from the scene.
Right.
Because, so they stop and they realize they all know each other, and the rival news team is like, oh, hey, John, how's it going? We're looking for that tabloid magazine.
Yeah.
Because John used to write for some high-profile newspaper.
That's what I gathered.
And he quits because he felt his boss, who was a woman, he has to point out, was... What was the exact building?
I don't know.
Insufficient?
Well, you know, she is a woman.
It was something that seemed like...
Yeah.
Let's not probe that topic, maybe.
But let's talk about John for a second.
Okay. Oh, yes, John, who desperately wants to be a Baldwin brother.
He does.
He looks like if you took Sean Astin and Daniel Baldwin and just smushed them together in that telepillow from The Fly. He is an odd looking man.
He's the missing Baldwin brother.
How many siblings are involved with that Baldwin
I don't know.
clan?
I've lost track.
Any sisters?
I really don't know.
Oh my God, it's huge.
It's pretty big.
But yeah, John and his son Danny. They run into the rival team. They kind of argue, and John's like, "Hey, so what am I about to drive into? I don't know any of the details." And the team tells him, "Oh, these kids just killed every adult human being in town. No big deal. It's no Wilson when we were in Jonestown." And they just brushed that away.
Yeah, you were.
Are you trying to tell me these two sold in Jonestown?
I don't know.
That's fucking Baldwin looking like piece of shit. No, he was not in Jonestown, okay? You can't just mention something like that and never go back to it. Like later on in the movie when, like, you know, shit's getting tough. You can't be like, oh man, this is just like when I was in Jonestown.
So the biggest cult mass murder in history, and supposedly they were there.
Covering the scene, yes.
Covering the scene.
Yeah. No.
No.
One look at you, man. No one let you into South Africa. Maybe they were just like down the last week.
Maybe. They just happened to be there.
And yeah, so John goes, "Oh, well, thanks for cluing me in," and they drive on the way, and then we follow the rival
truck.
I don't know,
I think
some
it was a
other
van.
news team.
Right, and they decide to go into the corn to get a picture of the corn.
Is that what's going on? Will
Yes.
they lost and will try?
No, he wants to get some sort of picture for the corn because he's a TV news reporter, so he wants to get like corn footage.
Go to MTV, man. You will see that video for Follow the Leader? It's pretty rad.
I don't think that's the kind of corn footage he was after.
Be more exciting than this movie.
It would.
This is not a good movie.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. It's bad.
So they get out of the truck.
Right, and we keep cutting to a point of view in the negative. It has to be a better phrasing for this.
The negative imaging.
Yeah, that can't be the official
I don't
terminology.
know. It's bad. Whatever it is, it's bad. But it's to like signify like the monster in the corn, or
someone's watching them.
Something's watching them from the corn,
but
or whatever.
I'm just thinking, is this the Predator?
It kind of looked like that, except for the Predator was done well.
Yeah, it was that body heat vision. Right. But that's what it looks like. It's like a low-key Predator. Like if the Predator was dropped in Nebraska. This is what we'll watch it.
Awesome.
He doesn't have a lot to do.
But then all of a sudden, the reporter guy, has like all these lightning strikes on him.
Yeah, he's being harassed by Colm.
He's being harassed by corn
That's-
and Microsoft Paint.
I'm pretty sure if Fred Dulles had a lawsuit, just was harassed by Colm. But yeah, you're right. I mean, he's running through the cornfield, and he's running from something. We don't see what it is.
we don't know what.
And, like, what is this lightning?
I don't know.
It's awful. Just lightning strikes going through his body. Tiny electrical soldiers. But yeah, they look like they're from MS Paint. Like someone took a brush stroke.
Woo!
He's not even
I found the lightning brush! And then he dies.
And then the guy in the truck, he was kind of just been sitting there the whole
Right.
time. Like, hey, what's going on?
Hey, there was just corn out there.
Giant piece of corn just projectiles across the field and impels him to the seat.
And then the lightning strikes go across him, too.
Yes, the lightning strikes.
Well, you know, it's important.
What are the rules in this movie?
There is no
Can the
rules.
corn just come to life now?
That's what it seems like.
I'm waiting for a scene from, like, Evil Dead when the tree roots kind of rape that woman. Like, that's what we need in this movie. We need more animated corn. That's why Jonathan Davis left that band.
Is that why? Because they weren't
I
animated?
think
in
they'll
it?
still making
I
music.
think they still are. But
Oh my god, how old could they be?
Old enough.
It should be a point when you get to a certain age, you just stop doing anything.
Tell the Rolling Stones that.
Not funny! If you have Netflix, you should check out John Mulaney's Gorgeous Kid at Radio City.
Yes, it was pretty funny.
I think that's what it's called.
It was a lot better than this movie.
Way better opportunity to spend your time. That's not how I wanted to phrase that sentence.
It's a better use of your time.
Yes, that's it. It's hot in this bedroom.
It's not that bad.
It's like a sauna.
So then we see John and his son pulling up to this town where all the kids have been dropped off. The town next door.
So did he even go to Gatlin?
I don't know. We never know if he's gone to Gatlin or what.
Okay.
So he gets out and there's this lady there and he's like, hey, what's going on?
Wait, he is in Gatlin, right? And that's where he meets the woman?
I don't know. I thought they were in the town next door.
It really doesn't matter, I guess.
It doesn't. I mean, it's where all the people are alive, so wherever that is, that's where they've gone to.
The towns are identical.
Pretty much.
Probably filmed in the same town.
Probably so. Probably filmed in the same square area that they had. They'd filmed this movie in.
Yeah. Now, do we know if this is the same, like, set that they filmed the original movie?
I have no idea. I highly doubt it. That's a 8-year span. Most movie
That's
sets
true.
don't last that long.
I mean, it's not really a set. They just,
No.
I assume they just went to a town and filmed.
Beats me.
I mean, every town in Nebraska probably looks the same.
Did they even film it in Nebraska?
Who knows? Honestly, who the fuck knows?
They probably filmed it in Universal Studios' backyard.
They filmed it in Jonestown.
And she's taking in one of the kids. As a matter of fact, she's taking in Micah.
Friend of the show.
Finally. And then he's like, so you want to tell me what's going on? And she kind of ignores him.
She's like, I don't want to tell you what's going on. As a
Right.
matter of fact. Like, okay.
So then he looks at her t-shirt, which says something about a bed and breakfast.
But above that, it says, come sleep with me.
Yes.
At my bed and breakfast.
Which is the greatest come on line ever.
And he goes through this whole, like, beating around the bush of, do you know any place I could sleep?
Yeah. It
And-
only costs $30 to stay there overnight.
Yeah, so she gives him directions to the place, and that's where they go.
Yes.
But, like, it's not that... I mean, it's pretty close to Gatlin.
Yes, it was.
It's, like, down the street from Gatlin.
It's like Gatlin's sister city or something.
Didn't the kids have this town killed off for kind of a long time? Like, a few
would've thought
months
so,
at
yeah.
least. And this woman then thought, I wonder what's going on down in Gatlin. How come no one's come to my bed and breakfast? Didn't she have to go in and get supplies at any
I don't
point?
know. I mean, I thought about
Fucking
that too.
clueless.
Well, and my other thought is, what time period is this taking place in? Because like the people that are like current are wearing like early 90s clothing.
Yeah.
But like there would be better technology to have like communication with the town next to you. But the kids that come from the town are all dressed like they're from 1843.
I don't know, man. Midwest is strange.
I understand this, and I know the corn will play shit on your brain, but come on. It's just weird.
I mean, the one kid we see who isn't, like, brainwashed, she's kind of dressed like the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking, like, I think, like, Isaac or whoever the hell kind of told him, like, this is how we need to dress now.
Yeah, but
it's really biblical.
Very, very biblical.
Which
makes sense. But
I mean, the kids we see who all dress like Amish folk are the ones who will under Isaac's religion.
Yeah.
What happened to Isaac in the original? Wasn't he like electrocuted with some like shit that, by MS Paint?
They actually used Photoshop for that movie.
They used GIMP. But yeah, also this bed and breakfast. There's also a cornfield, like, in the backyard.
There's a fucking cornfield around everything.
Why didn't the kids kill, like, this woman?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did they stop at the, like, why didn't they just keep going?
They're like, oh, we're at Gatlin's lines. We can't go any farther.
And the, Micah? He's walking around this cornfield with a flashlight, calling Jedediah's name.
Yes.
Really, like, nonchalant. Like, wasn't Jedediah one of the head honchos?
I don't even know who in the hell Jedediah is.
He was in the last movie.
Yeah, it's just a cool name.
But it's like he expects him to be just hanging out.
Hey, Jedediah, where'd you go?
Jedediah. And I don't know how to continue with what happens next.
It's very much like Alice falling down the rabbit hole.
We get a cut of the negative point of view.
Yes.
The predator tackles him. And then he falls into a tunnel.
Right.
Of
redness? I don't know.
It's a red hypnotic tunnel that looks like an old MTV music video. And he's kind of just like spinning as he falls into this infinite tunnel.
Right, and then they show like his blood coming out of his body, blood droplets.
Yeah, like every molecule in his body disintegrates and regroups at...
Yeah, and then you see it being attacked by a black molecule, and then it regroups into another version of him.
It's fucking Annihilation.
I don't know, it's something.
It's the end of Annihilation.
Annihilation was much better. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying it has the same quality. I'm just saying Annihilation ripped off this movie. But, and then he just like falls into this children of the corn get together.
Yeah, they're all sitting around a campfire.
And he's like, hey guys.
Yeah. My first thought is why didn't he not know this meeting was happening to begin with?
Maybe he did. That's how you get to it. You say Jedediah's name. And then then your body is just torn to pieces and it regroups and you just fall down this laundry chute. He's like, oh hey.
But then all of a sudden he's like the head of the whole entire group of kids.
What I suspect is happening is Isaac has just mutated into him.
I see.
He was supposed to be the black dots.
Maybe. The black dots were the man
maybe we
walked.
had Dot on the TV screen. I don't know.
I don't know.
It looks fucking crazy. Not in a good way.
Yeah, it's definitely like some student's version of how we could do molecules turning.
Well, instead of Isaac, you know who it probably is? The demon, the He-Who demon.
The He-Who?
The He-Who has cornrows.
So we're making this a racial issue now?
Because wasn't the whole thing what in the last movie that the He-Who demon had possessed Isaac?
I think that's what we were supposed to believe. So that he was just pure evil that had gotten to him.
Now, I haven't seen these other movies, but I'm thinking maybe in every movie the He-Who demon possesses a new child.
You think?
I mean, I'm just guessing. I mean, don't act like you know. You haven't seen this shit.
It's pretty simple to figure out.
It's complicated.
And it's not that complicated.
We get a fucking corrupt police subplot in a few, okay?
Ho.
But yeah, he keeps falling through the tunnel. It's pretty comical. It's like when Bill and Ted fall through that endless abyss.
Yes.
And then eventually it's just like, whoa! And he pops up at this Children of the Cold meeting.
Yes.
And he's like, hey guys. He's like, hey, Micah. Hey, Brian.
Well, here's the crazy thing.
Yes.
They're all sitting around this campfire at this meeting. Wouldn't he have been invited to the meeting to begin with?
Maybe that's how you get to it, though.
Maybe.
That's like you have to walk outside, you have to flash the flashlight, and you go.
You gotta shout for Jedediah.
You say it 3 times. You get sucked into a flesh tunnel. Now that's like like when you go to. I've only seen this in shows and movies, not in real life, but supposedly those like amusement parks, you sit on this boat with someone and you go through like a pond. It's like a tunnel of love.
Are you talking about a tunnel of love? I've never been into a tunnel of love, so I really have
Is
no
that
idea.
a real thing or a movie thing?
You know what? It probably was a real thing at one point in time, but I think it's kind of been phased out over the
Into
years.
the flesh tunnel of love.
Whoa.
It's like a Hellraiser amusement park, a Clive Barker park.
The Clive Barker Park? That'd be pretty cool.
That would be great. Like, those bungee jumps, the chains hook to your flesh and they just fling you.
That'd be kind of crazy.
So we got the flesh tunnel. We got the hook boomerang.
Yes.
What else? What else is going on?
I don't know. Somewhere there's got to be a puzzle box.
A puzzle box, yes.
Yes. And a carpet that leads to a magical world.
So, like, you think, what would that be like?
I really don't know. I don't know if it'd just be like a really big beaded curtain. Or if you sit on a magic carpet and then like a tunnel opens up underneath you and you go down a slide and show someplace else.
Holy shit.
That'd be pretty crazy, huh?
Instead of like a pond, you fall into just a pit of hamburger meat.
Yes.
At one point, you have to take like a monorail, like subway train to get to it, and you have to like watch out because Vinnie Jones just might be chasing you throughout the train calls with a cleaver.
You gotta watch out for that
soccer
cleaver.
Ball.
A soccer ball?
A football, I mean,
okay.
a British football.
I see. Go all European on me, are you?
Yeah, so we have the carpet ride, the midnight meat train, the monorail.
The puzzle box.
What's with the puzzle box?
I don't know. We gotta come up with something cool for a puzzle box.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe
it's like one of those games that you can win a prize. You have to solve the puzzle box.
What do you win at Clive Barker's fantastic amusement park?
A stuffed pinhead.
Stuffed pinhead. Oh, there's probably some acupuncture. Like you pay some money, you get acupuncture.
You could. That feels really good though. Maybe not in your head, but it feels good everywhere else. Okay, now what the hell are we talking about?
Acupuncture on the dick.
I don't have one of those, so I can't share information about that.
Okay, I'll ask around.
You do that.
We're talking about Children of the Cold 2, The Final Sacrifice.
Yes, I know that. How did we get off on the tangent we did?
I don't know how you got off.
I know you're thinking about acupuncture, but come on now.
Something about looking at that Pennywise Funko thing. I guess I say get off. It's unnerving. We have a Pennywise Funko,
like
pop.
bobblehead, yeah.
You know those things you buy at goth shops.
Anywhere, pretty much.
He's looking like he's maintaining eye contact with me right now, and it's unnerving. Let's move him.
Okay. We also have an Alfred Hitchcock bobblehead on this desk. And it's funny because its head will shake just when you slightly touch the desk, and it looks like it's shaping his head at Max disapprovingly.
I think I posted a photo of him on the company's Instagram page.
Probably.
Which is at PMM Publishing. Yeah. Follow us.
Plug.
This is probably a plug game.
Maybe. Well, let's not give it. We're done with the Clive
Barker. Like a human centipede amusement park?
No, that's disgusting.
That's probably going to be the next movie.
I don't.
Centipede Land?
That's just gross. But Mika is like this nobody that doesn't even get invited to this meeting, and all of a sudden he's like the head of the.
Well, I think they can tell he's different. He's
Maybe.
like, oh man, your blood molecules just configured, didn't they?
Yes.
He's like, yep.
Yes, they did.
Thank you for noticing. He takes command of the meeting. He's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna kill the adults.
Whoa.
I mean, they don't really I mean, the plan's the same.
I know.
So let's try that again, I guess. And then we cut to the next day, and they'll, like, bullying this old lady.
Yes, it's
the old lady who was, like, doing
there's two old
protest.
ladies, and they both look the same.
It's two different women?
Yes, one's in a wheelchair and one's not in a wheelchair.
Oh, I thought she just got
They're
tiled.
sisters.
Oh. That's right. So this is the sister of the handicapped woman.
Right.
And she's, like, yelling at them because, what do they want?
I don't know. They're standing in her front yard, and she's like, you guys killed my husband 15 years ago, and that's why I've got to leave this town and take my house with me.
She doesn't say that. She says, 15 years ago, my husband walked into that cold and didn't come back. And now I'm going to leave.
I know, but it's like it took you 15 years to decide to leave the town.
Has she reported him missing?
Yeah, I don't know.
She sounds like the woman from Back to the Future. 15 years ago. Cool, and struck this watchtower. But yeah, 15 years ago. Did she look for him?
I don't know.
Maybe he just left her.
Maybe he couldn't stand her voice.
That's the only way out of town.
But she's like, I'm gonna take my house with me.
She says that multiple
I
times.
know.
What does that mean?
And first off, I'm like, okay, it's a nice house, but it's not worth taking with you.
What the hell are you taking it with you?
You can move a house off of a foundation. It's a long, involved process.
I liked Dylan's response to that. He was watching it with us.
Yeah.
He was like, how can you take a house with you?
He's like,
what are you going to do, take it piece by piece?
He was very upset by that. You stupid lady. Then she turns around and there's a cross on her, like, not the front door, but right next to the front door. It's like in a green moldy material.
It looks like baby poop.
It kind of does look like baby poop or cow poop or something.
It was. Yeah, it's a crucifix, right?
Yeah, it's just a cross.
Cross. What's the difference?
Crucifix has Jesus on it.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. There's no Jesus in this poop.
No. It's Jesus.
You think anyone's ever, like, call the tabloid, like, there's Jesus' face in my stool dropping?
Probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
Probably called out this fake Baldwin guy and told him. This pseudo-Baldwin. And what happens next? Doesn't the Baldwin guy, like, somehow approach the house?
Right. Well, he knows that her husband has disappeared because, he's trying to find a news story in all of this because it's already broken. That
he's fell too late.
And he's, like, really late. So he's trying to make a news story out of something. And when he comes up to the house, she won't answer any questions. I think she just tells him, you're 15 years too late.
He's still in that cold. Go get him. Is he the one who walks among the rows?
Whoa.
The husband? The he-who?
The he-who? Maybe.
Yeah, that could be it.
Could be.
Wow.
I know.
But he sees the baby poop cross, and he just, like, wipes it with his finger.
Yeah, he puts his finger in it, smells it, and wipes it on his pants.
Why did he just lean in and sniff it if he had to do it?
Yeah, I don't know. Why would you wipe it on your pants? There's these nifty inventions. They're called napkins.
I was hoping he would lick it.
That's gross.
This is the kind of movie that would happen in.
Yeah, you're right.
But he didn't do it. Oh, well.
No.
So meanwhile, we forget that pseudo-Baldwin has a son named Danny. Daniel Baldwin. I don't know what was going on with my nose right then. But I'm leaving it in.
It was the little guy inside agreeing with you.
There's a mouse in my nose.
He's going, yay, Daniel Baldwin.
But he's been off just kind of making out with his random girl his own age. They're both like 15, 16.
Yeah, well, he tries to run away from his father to catch the bus, so he's waiting by the side of the road, and she comes up on a scooter.
Yeah.
Or like a motorized bicycle and says...
I think it's just a bicycle.
I don't know. I don't know what the difference is.
One has a motor.
Well, it has a motor on it. It's a motorized bicycle.
Okay.
And she says, well, you're going to be waiting a long time. The next bus isn't until Tuesday.
Why is she so up to date on bus schedules?
I don't know. And why is she the only person in this whole entire Metroplex
who dresses like she lives in the 90s?
Who dresses like she lives in the 90s and is not taken over by the corn people.
I was surprised that wasn't like a twist, like she was trying to recruit him.
Yeah, it wasn't at all, though.
Yeah, she's just some
normal
kid living with a little aunt and uncle or grandparents.
Her aunt and uncle, because her parents had died or something.
An automobile collision, I believe, was the... My nose keeps squeaking. I believe was the explanation.
Yeah, I think so. Because even he goes, were they taken by the corn? And she's like,
Yeah.
no, it has nothing to do with the corn people. They just died in an accident.
Like, how people would be Grateful Dead heads and they would follow them? They will corn heads.
They're corn heads.
They follow the Lidl.
Very funny.
They'll often some Silicon K. And at one point, she's like, "Take me with you when you go back to New York."
Right.
Like, she's a child.
Right.
Is she asking to be kidnapped right now?
Yeah, they're about...
How is that going to work out?
Yeah, they're only like 16. Come on now.
I mean, she's not even asking to run away, like, for them to run away. She's like she wants, like, to go away with him and his dad.
Yeah. I think she just wants out of Nebraska.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't want out of Nebraska?
Apologies to everyone who lives in Nebraska. It's probably a fine state.
I don't know. It's got a lot of corn.
So is Indiana, and that
This
state
is true.
is terrible.
And we can say that because...
Well, I can say that because I'm from it. You can't say shit.
I-
Shut your fucking mouth.
I can.
Shut the fuck up.
I can. My grandparents were from Indiana.
Corn's good.
If it's cooked correctly.
It doesn't have insects crawling out of it.
Yes.
Mika. Is that the name we're going with?
Mika.
Micah?
Micah. Mika
Micah.
sounds like a girl's name, so I'm going to say it's Micah.
Oh, man. Did you say the guy can't be named Mika?
I can't say I've ever met a guy named Mika.
Have you only met a guy named Micah?
No, but I also don't live like in the buckle of the Bible Belt either.
We kind of do.
We live in the Bible Belt, but not in the buckle.
Oh, so what loop are we on?
Fourth.
Are we like the one where someone tries to stab a new hole into it with a
Yeah.
pocket knife and
Yes,
it
and they
cuts
cuts
the
their
finger
finger off.
open?
Yeah.
That didn't happen to me at all recently. We cut to church in this new town, Hemmingfield. Is that the name?
I think you're just making that up
Hemingway.
because Hemingford is in the other book, other story.
Humpty
Dumpty.
Hum
I don't know. It starts with an H.
Bogart? I don't
Haminy.
What are you, a cartoon character? Did you eat a spicy pickle?
Yes.
We cut to this church where all the new kids have gone, and Micah.
Micah.
What's his name? Ryan.
Ryan.
God damn it. Ryan, the kid, the new possessed kid.
The new possessed kid, the lead kid.
The Isaac stand-in. He is sitting in the back of this church with his wooden voodoo doll.
Right, and all of a sudden one of the guys up in the front goes, "Oh, my head hurts so bad," and he starts bleeding out of his nose.
Because he is stabbing it over and over with a giant knife.
Yes.
The doll, not the guy. And the deeper he stabs, more blood that just sprays out of this dude's face like a
Right.
fountain.
It was pretty gross.
It's pretty cool. But you can tell they didn't really have a lot of money for this.
No.
Because as like his face is disintegrating, you can see like flecks of his cheek and just the rest of his face falling off between his fingers. But then when he moves his hand, it's like the blood is still, but all the flesh is back on his face.
Yeah, well, you know.
Was he coughing up the flesh, the strips of flesh?
That I really don't know.
I don't know. It's a pretty cool scene. He just smiles and everyone's looking at him. He's like, "Yeah, I did that."
Yeah.
He drops the voodoo doll like it's a mic. And he leaves. Like he did that for no reason.
Right.
It's also at this point that John meets a Native American man who robs him.
Well, John goes back to Gatlin, and he's in the school at Gatlin. Like, it's an elementary school or high school, I don't know. It's been, like, abandoned.
I imagine it's an elementary school.
Probably so. Maybe they only have one school in Gatlin, and it's all ages. Who knows?
Only the boys are allowed.
Maybe. But the way they dress, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yes.
Wouldn't surprise me if they all had one teacher. And the school is completely covered in graffiti.
Yes.
Weren't they all saying...
I believe it's American, too.
You think so?
Yeah, it's American graffiti.
Har har. Weren't they all sayings about the man who walks among the corn or evil or
I don't
something?
know.
I don't
I
know.
think they were actual lyrics from corn songs.
And while he's there, he runs into a Native American who all of a sudden knows who he is, what his name is, how tall he is, where he's from. And the guy goes, "Oh my God, that's amazing." He goes, "No, you just left your wallet in the car." And hands it to him.
Like, was he planning? Like, how did he know he was still in the school? He had run into him.
Yeah,
Maybe he was just planning on robbing him. And he
Maybe.
thought, no, this is funny.
I don't know.
He throws him the wallet, and they just kind of talk about shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Indian says, my people thought that, people in the land were one and the same, and you guys don't think that anymore.
Well, those are great line when Phil sees him. John goes, "Who are you? What are you doing in this school?" And he goes, "Typical white man, being in a place you don't belong, assuming the other person isn't supposed to be there."
All right.
Not the exact line, but
it's pretty close.
It's pretty good. I like this dude.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He has great lines because he goes through all this like spiritual conversation about how sometimes those who originally own land take back what deserves to them.
Right.
And then John goes, "Oh, is that what happened here? The spirits of the dead have taken over?" And he said, the Native American guy said something like, "No, those kids just went apeshit."
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And he drives away, accomplishing nothing, but
it's a little comic relief.
easily the best character in this movie.
yeah.
I wish it was just about him instead of this fake Baldwin.
You don't like the fake Baldwin, huh?
He looks like a jambalaya.
Jumbo. He looks like a stew from the
It
south.
looks like he's allergic to nuts and he just ate a pecan pie. And then he fucks the bed and breakfast lady.
Well, of course he does.
The only reason she's in this, I believe.
Probably.
Do they have any chemistry at all?
No, not really. I mean, there's not enough beforehand to really get into chemistry. I mean, it's just she's there.
All of a
and
sudden, they're doing it.
they're having sex.
And then the son, like, sneaks out of his room, and he just watches them go at it for a few,
Well, it's
smiling.
like, I think he accidentally walks in on them or something.
But he doesn't go, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah,
he just kind of watches and smiles.
Then he backs out and he goes, "Good for you, Dad. Good for you." What?
Then outside the window in the hallway that the son's in, he notices the strange children of the corn meeting, the one that Mika was at.
Yeah.
Or is this a new one?
I'm sure it's a new one because it's during the day now.
Is that night?
Is it still at night?
Yes. Do
Well,
you
what
think?
the
Do you
hell?
think this Baldwin guy has sex in the daytime? No. If this woman's putting out, she cannot look at him.
I don't know.
It has to be pitch black out. She has to think of a better looking Baldwin brother.
She's got to put a Playgirl on the nightstand.
Yes. a pornographic magazine dedicated to the Baldwin family.
I don't think there is such a thing.
Bald boy.
Bald boy. No, it's got to be a different meeting.
Yeah. Talking about the same shit.
Yeah, well, but he goes downstairs to see what's going on, and Micah knows that he's been arguing with his father. So he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you belong with us." And
It cuts away before he says yes or no.
right.
And then it's the next day, and him and the boy and the random blonde chick, they drive out. They ride out to some.
She's like, "Oh, let me
farm.
take you to my favorite spot." And they go to this barn-like thing, and they get on the roof, which he's petrified of being on the roof. It has got to be the flattest roof in the
What
world.
was his excuse? Like he was on the Statue of Liberty and something
Yeah,
happened?
he threw up on the Statue of Liberty.
Was he outside of it? You
well,
can't do that.
Yeah, well, the windows, I think, are open. So when you look out, if you barfed, it would just...
No, the windows will close.
Are they closed?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they always have been, though.
Oh, maybe because of this fucking case.
Maybe because the kid barfed all over the Statue of Liberty. They're like, man, we don't want to clean this shit up.
Yeah, I think they have to keep it closed because of like suicides.
Suicide. I don't think it's always been that way, though.
Okay.
I really
This fucking
honestly
kid
don't know.
ruined suicides.
Yeah, thanks a lot, dude.
So they make out in the grass, and she freaks out because they realize they're humping on a severed hand.
Woo! And they find the rest of the missing bodies from Gatlin.
It just kind of like spread out, like at the end of Clive Barker's Funhouse.
Yes. There you go. There's another attraction. If anybody knows Clive Barker, let him know.
We got a great
a great idea. But it's like, okay, when they walked out there to kiss, didn't they notice these dead bodies laying
Did they
around?
smell it?
I don't know.
Oh, it smells like rotten body parts. Nothing.
And the thing is if they've been out there for that long, these were some fresh looking bodies.
These bodies need to be picked clean.
They would have been just skeletons at this point.
So, Yeah, nothing really happens with that. They just kind of get spooked.
Yes.
Then we cut back to John is still investigating.
He's still investigating.
I mean, at this point, he's like, if I don't come up with something, I'm fucked. I've wasted too much gas money. They're not going to reimburse my mileage. And he stumbles across this random bone. And there's like a mountain of rotten corn.
I know, but I think it's the same barn that his son was just in, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
They all look the same. All those barns. And the Native American guy is with him. Or just happens to show up. He's not?
He's not with them.
I thought
but
he was,
yeah, he is.
Yes,
because
he
he has to provide the exposition.
Yes.
He goes in to tell them how it's poisonous. It's because I guess if it sits too long,
it starts rotting. And
he tells them how someone's probably mixing it in with new crops.
Right. So between the smell and the eating of this corn, it causes people to go psychotic.
It could, yeah.
It could affect that, especially not only where they are, but the town next to them.
Right, and it's at this point that they get interrupted by the town sheriff, who we haven't met yet.
We have not met him, but he might have shown up before, but we don't really.
Wasn't there also a scene before this where he meets up with some doctor?
Probably, I don't know.
Because the doctor's in on this corn scheme.
Yeah.
It's him and the sheriff. And the doctor was invading questions. Not a lot happened.
I zoned out part of this movie.
It's pretty easy to do. But yeah, the sheriff, who we have not met, this movie's almost over at this point. He pops up. He's like, you caught my scheme.
You meddling kids.
I don't know exactly what the scheme is.
Something about corn.
But yeah, he's a dirty cop. So this whole subplot that we don't really understand. They don't devote a lot of time to it.
No.
It's really lazy. It's like, well, hold up. What movie are we watching?
Right. And it's like, I don't know. Are we led to believe that they're controlled by the man behind the rose, or are they just stupid people?
I think this is just a separate thing.
I really honestly don't know. I think they were hoping to tie it together with maybe that there really was an evil entity that has taken over people, but it just never really makes that connection. So
he ties them both up and leaves?
Yeah, no, he stakes them into the ground in front of a corn combine.
He's gonna fucking pulverize them.
Yes.
This cop is crazy. Where has he been throughout this whole movie?
I don't know. Don't shake your head in disgust.
think they will just what should we do now? And maybe the director's friend was in town. Hey, you want to play a cop?
He's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, so they're staked to the ground.
And we cut away to Main Street. And Mika has his remote control.
Right. And now the sister who's in the wheelchair is trying to warn people about these kids.
Yeah, because the sister...
We skipped a whole entire section that's very exciting.
Oh, yes, my bad.
So we're back to the old lady that lived in the house.
Which sounds like a Philly tale.
It does. Well, she's looking for her cat.
Yeah, the one whose husband walked into Colne 15 years ago.
And her house is up on stilts, because obviously she's moving with her house. It's very important to know this.
Yeah.
So she finds her cat is underneath the house, of course.
Yes.
So she crawls under the house, of course, to get this cat.
And the kids.
And the kids just surround the house, and then they take the hydraulic switch and push it, and the house crushes her just like the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Really, her legs are sticking out just like the Wicked Witch of the East.
They get Wizard of Oz. And also, before John gets tied up, he shows up again because the poop that he rubbed into his pants.
Yeah, it's eating through his pants.
It's like acid. And that's why he goes to talk to the doctor, because he's like, hey, what would do something like this?
See, I told you I zoned out.
And the doctor freaks out because he knows the mold that's on the corrupt corn would do that.
Yeah.
Which causes him to call the sheriff, who meets John at the bone and ties them up.
See,
this movie is so complicated. It's like a Christopher Nolan film.
But not near as good.
At the end, they just take a piece of corn
and start doing it like a top. So anyway, the lady in the wheelchair is trying to warn people, they've killed my sister and they're gonna get you and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, she's riding down Main Street.
So Micah has a remote control and he starts remote controlling her her wheelchair down the middle of Main Street.
How?
It's a motorized wheelchair, but yeah, I don't know.
Because he was fucking with this random remote control call.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he uses like He-Who abilities to sync the Bluetooth of the remote into the
Did they even
wheelchair.
have Bluetooth back
I think
then?
this guy invented it. And he just can control everything the chill does.
Right.
Because of
magics.
Exactly.
So he starts wheeling her in the middle of traffic, and she's screaming, "Ah!" And then he propels the wheelchair through the window.
How does she sound again?
Ah! He propels the wheelchair through the plate glass window of a bingo hall.
Well, a truck hits her.
Did a truck hit her?
Yes.
Okay. I told you I zoned out.
He stops in the middle of traffic. A little good 20 seconds, and then a truck hits
Oh, that's
her.
right, because I kept thinking, why doesn't the truck just apply its brakes?
It's like the video we saw of that motorcycle slowly about to hit that woman.
That was hysterical.
But yeah, and she goes flying across the street into a window.
Where people are playing bingo. And right as she does, the guy on the is winning, he goes, "Bingo!" Crash!
I will give this movie this. The death scenes were cool.
Yes.
Were great.
They're over the top. They're hysterical.
Then it's night, and everyone in town is having this meeting at church about how the kids are obviously evil.
We have not gotten back to John and the corn combine. He's still sitting in the middle of the field.
I don't know what happens with that.
Well, him and the Native American dude are tied up, and the sheriff gets on the corn combine, and he's going to run them over and shred them into corn pieces. And they both go 1, 2, 3, like several times to pull the stake out of the ground, and they roll out of the way.
I think I fell asleep. I just assumed it was a missing reel.
No. But I mean, it's like, okay, they got away from him. They're still tied to this stake. And all
To be
of a
able to
sudden,
see how they come untied?
no!
Okay, see, I didn't miss that much. So there's a town meeting.
Yes.
And they keep talking like, the kids are up to something.
You think?
And then like one of the guys points like, look at them. And they're all just standing in a group outside the church looking at them through a window. And they have that knife sound effect that's really suspenseful. They go to open the entrance, like the guests yell at them, like, "What are you meddling kids doing?"
Right.
But it's chained.
Chain shuts.
And the dude turns and goes, "The sweet children of Gatlin have chained the door."
Yeah, that's sweet nothing.
The sweet corn.
The sweet nothing.
And then the kids set the church on fire and they all die.
The end.
Not the end.
Damn it.
Because we have the final showdown.
Yes.
Which I hardly remember. It's chaos. We go to like the same corn showdown that happened in the original movie.
Yeah, the kids capture both Baldwin and his son's girlfriends.
Well, the way I saw it was the Baldwin son was the one who captured the chick.
I don't know. They told him, they said, "You're part of us now," and they like do some sort of ritual to make him part of the group.
Do they, or do
I
they just
think
say
so.
that? And
I think
he goes,
they just
okay.
say that, and
And he just goes along with it.
Yeah, I don't know if they do the cutting of the hand with the blood thing or not. They did that at some point. They slice both their hands open and put their blood together.
And I remember that because he takes his machete, lifts it over his head, and strikes down, but somehow it doesn't cut their hands off.
Yeah.
It just does a slight
Like
nick.
a little slight sliver.
Yeah, but now the Baldwin son is just like, okay, I guess I'm evil, guys.
Yeah.
And they want him to stab the chick he's been making out with.
Right.
She's being crucified in this corn
A corn cross.
cross. Which
Right.
is like a charity for people who need more corn.
Corn cross. And
But then at the last minute, he's like, oh, wait, no, I can't do this, you guys.
And then all of a sudden, surprise, his father and the Native American guy show up on the corn combine thing.
This is dude... Oh, yeah, his name is Frank Redbeard.
Oh,
Of
that's
course.
He's Professor Redbeard, thank you very much.
What does he teach?
I don't know.
But yeah, they drive on in the corn combine.
Combine? It's really probably a corn harvester or something, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's still pretty cool.
The Native American gets shot immediately
Right.
with a bow and arrow. Danny and John, they free
The two girls.
Yeah, because I forgot they got the bed and breakfast damsel in distress.
Right. Well, she had to have some purpose.
I mean,
other
all
than having
she's
sex.
done
Is
is
have
fuck
sex.
John, and then she was tied up.
Which is about the same thing.
Both are equally exciting. Mika is like standing. Is it Micah or Mika?
I think it's Micah.
Micah. Why do I keep saying Mika?
I don't know.
Micah's like just standing and like holding out his hands, trying to do some voodoo spell.
Right.
And then the Native American just comes back to life and runs him over.
He gets caught into the corn harvester and
shreds
shredded.
him.
But before he gets shredded, he's going, Danny, you're my friend, you're my friend. And like all of a sudden his face turns into like this devil.
Oh yeah, his
so
face
cool.
just comes off.
And then it like explodes, like the evil is escaping him.
What is going on?
I don't know. I mean, Danny gives some thought to like saving him, but then
He says, like, oh,
he's
fuck
like,
that.
fuck that.
Something's
But then
going on
Micah
with you.
is shredded by the corn harvester thing. And that's the end of him. Then all the rest of the kids run away.
Yeah, they just kind of scaddle.
Right. So then the next scene we cut to is...
Yeah, they take the Native American man's body.
Right, and give him the funeral pyre that they light on fire.
Okay. You can't just dispose of evidence like that. What about the cops?
Yeah, what cops?
Are they not going to tell anybody what happened?
I don't know.
Like, they're not going to get charged with anything. They'll label the victims.
I don't know.
Why are you building this dude's body?
I don't know. Yeah, I really honestly don't know. And
Who gave you the credentials to hold a funeral? What about the guy? You assume he doesn't have any family?
Well, he said he had no family at some point.
Let's just build this guy and go on.
Yeah, go on with our
No
day.
one will miss him. They just walk away and they return to the city, I guess, as a new family.
I don't know.
Question mark?
Yeah, I don't know, but John has his story now because he can write about the corn.
How's he gonna prove any of that?
I don't know.
He just built the only evidence he had left.
I really honestly don't know. So they drive away or fly away or whatever they do.
And then, of course, because we can't end this movie without a bit of racism, we get the spirit of the Native American
Right. Walking
leaving like a painted stone
something
on the ground, implicating that he's now the new protector of Hemingfield, Nebraska.
Apparently so.
Like, whoa, okay, movie.
I mean, that's nice.
I don't think he had the credentials to be handling this topic. I read that originally it was going to end with John making a phone call to his magazine at a phone booth on the side of the road.
Okay.
But then the phone booth would have been swallowed into the ground by the He-Who demon. But it was scrapped for budget constraints.
Oh, yeah, because they...
So I guess they maxed out on the MS Paint lightning strikes.
And the flesh tunnel.
Flesh tunnel of love, baby.
Ooh. Also, according to Wikipedia, the original draft of the script was going to be called Children of the Corn 2 Deadly Harvest, which would have been a much better name.
I mean, logically, yeah.
Yes. What the hell?
The director also claimed that during the filming, a local Christian group held a few protests during filming. And at one point, he discovered a dead rodent on his porch.
Yeah, because no other way could a dead rodent have showed up on his porch. Like a cat couldn't have brought it. Or it could have just died on the porch.
Oh man, it must be those Christians.
Fucking Christians. So according to that, as a result, the production crew constructed their own church for the scenes in the film.
Despite this, no actual incidents occurred. Yeah, because sometimes rats just die. In Nebraska. I assume that's when they filmed in North Carolina.
That's nowhere near Nebraska.
Most of the cast were locals, including the children. We're not going to fly in a group of children to film a sequel to Children of the Corn.
Not to mention they never had any lines. All they do is stand around.
Well, knife scrape. The scene where Mika and the Children of the Corn burn the town was filmed in a home at the corner of some streets.
In Liberty.
The home was built and filled to film. And a vacant lot remains where the house once stood. We don't even see the outside of the church on file. We just see it from the inside.
I know.
That was unnecessary.
Nice.
I believe that's it.
Yes.
Would you recommend this movie?
Only if you really like hokey shit.
You know, I didn't hate it.
You know, I actually thought it was a better, not necessarily better done, but like a more complete story than the first one.
More exciting than the original movie by a ton.
Yeah.
It is not well made, but it's fun.
It is fun. I did zone out quite a bit. It's a good movie to have on in the background while you're working on something.
Well, maybe if you partake in the wacky weed.
You'd probably really like it then.
I mean, yeah, the original movie is kind of boring.
Yes, it is.
So is the novella, to be honest.
Yes, I know.
But this is pretty fun. So, what comes after this? We have Children of the Corn, Bulb Harvest.
Woo.
What is this one about? It focuses on two mysterious brothers who are adopted from Nebraska and brought to Chicago. A chain of deadly occurrences surrounding the family follows, involving a cult in which the younger brother is a follower.
Whoa.
Seems like we're getting out of the corn game.
Yes, but Charlize Theron makes her debut in that film.
Yeah.
That might be worth it alone.
And I think the next one has a different, big name actress who begins
in The Gathering.
Naomi Watts. This series is just crazy. And also, this one had Ryan
Bowman.
A big name star.
Of course.
Famous for his movie reviews in the
defunct
Dark Eclipse magazine. All right, that's
that wraps that up.
And we're gonna go take a quick pee break, and then we will talk to you guys about some news.
Woo. Children of the Corn 2, the final harvest. Sacrifice. It should have been the final harvest. Whatever.
News time. News alerts. We run a small press called Perpetual Emotion Machine Publishing, which you probably know, unless you've never listened to any other episode, in which case, hey.
Now you know.
Thank you for making it to the news segment.
Woohoo.
This is Castle Rock Radio. After Dark. What news stuff do we have to talk about?
Don't forget that Bonesaw will be out next week, but you can pre-order it now.
Why would I forget that?
Don't forget.
Oh, you're talking to the microphone.
Yes.
Oh.
You can order the print version on our website, perpetualpublishing.com. Or if you want an ebook pre-ordered, you can go to Amazon and search for it. It is ready for pre-order now.
Bonesaw Patrick Lacey.
Correct.
It is a slasher book about a monster called the Pigfoot.
Yes. It's really good.
Get it. Get it!
Right now.
Also, Dark Moon Digest issue
31
is out.
Go get that.
How do you get that?
Amazon.com or our page, perpetualpublishing.com.
Or you can subscribe.
On Patreon, for only $1, you get the e-version.
$7, you get a paperback subscription. Holy moly.
It's worth it. Go get it.
We have fiction from Joshua Chaplinsky.
Right, and Michael Paul Gonzalez.
Lee Holland.
Yes.
Rachel Cassidy.
Yes.
Jonathan Balog.
Right.
And others, possibly.
Off the top of my head, I'm having a hard time. That's really bad.
It's a good magazine.
I'm really tired.
We release it 4 times a year.
4 times.
Stocked.
It's got not only fiction, but non-fiction in it, and pictures.
If you like
Betty Rocksteady has a drawing in there that you can take and attach to your wall.
Cut out, tape it to your face.
I don't know if I would want to.
She's doing these satirical hill images with cats.
Right, and this month it was
Night Meow on Mouse Street.
So Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
If you like Tales from the Crypt, The Outer Limits.
Oh, Andrew Hilbert, that's the other author I
couldn't
think
that
of.
Guy.
We love you, Andrew.
He'll be on the show next week.
Yes.
What else? We have t-shirts.
Yes, if you go to tpublic.com/user/PMM Publishing, you can see all the t-shirts that we have for offer.
We have a Castle Rock Radio
We do
one.
have a Castle Rock Radio one.
We have one where Stephen King is buck naked. No, we don't.
If only.
We should get one.
And just a reminder that Saturday, May 12th, Max will be at the Bookworm Festival.
I will?
Yes, you will. At the Blue Star Arts Complex here in San Antonio from 12 to 5, I think, are the hours.
So what is this exactly?
It's like, the Blue Star Arts Complex is kind of like a hippie art complex in the middle of downtown San Antonio. It's a little eclectic community.
Yeah.
And they're having a book fair where like a whole bunch of independent publishers and book people and stuff can sell their books. And so we have a booth there, and Max will be there. So make sure you go find him.
The booth will be at the booth.
The booth will be at the booth.
Like how you sign me up for this and you won't even be there.
I know, I gotta work. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I just think it's important to be there.
That's all we got.
That's all we got for PMMP news right now.
Not a lot going on with Stephen King, except we have some cool casting news.
We do. In the film remake of Pet Sematary, the old man Judd Crandall will be played by none other than John Lithgow.
Now that is some prolific casting.
It is.
Is it still John Lithgow?
I
Has
don't-
he been knighted yet?
I don't think so because he's an American.
So what?
I don't think he's been knighted though.
Someone needs to fix that. The Queen.
The Queen. I don't think the Queen gives a shit.
He needs to be a soul. He's paid his duties.
He's pretty cool. He's a really good actor.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
it.
that's pretty much that's all that's happening with Mr. King.
Let's do some URLing.
URLing. So you can contact us by going to our URL, which is www.castlerockcast.com. We are in the process of building a new website.
Which we say every time.
Which we say every time. One day we'll actually get to it. Our TeePublic page is TeePublic.
We just talked about
.com.
that.
I can say it again. /user/PMM Publishing. Our Facebook group where you can interact with us is Castle Rock Radio for fans of Stephen King podcasts and dick jokes. Our Facebook page, if you'd rather just follow us, is facebook.com/Castle Rock Radio. Our Twitter handle is @CastleRockCast.
Send your tweets.
So tweet us.
Tweet.
Our email, which if you'd like to email us.
Why
not?
If we get some interesting emails, we'll read them on the show. We'll talk about them. We'll have a whole fucking mailbag episode. That
That'd be
would
awesome.
be cool. If you've ever met Stephen King, we want to know what that was like. If you have any interesting reading experiences with him,
Right.
Maybe your mother, slapped you in the face with the stand. I don't know.
Would you still be awake after your mother slapped you in the face with a stand? That's a huge ass
What, you
book.
think I'm gonna fall asleep?
Well, it might knock you out.
No, narcoleptic.
Anyway, our email
Yeah.
is castlerockcast@gmail.com.
We want to see some emails.
Email us. Our newsletter to keep up with what's happening with PMMP is www.pmmpnews.com. And of course, our Patreon page, which gets you the behind-the-scenes access of everything, is patreon.com/PMMpublishing.
What is with us and all these P's?
PPPPPP.
What are we talking about next week?
Next week will be the 10 o'clock people with Andrew Hilbert.
Will it?
It should be.
Yeah, so that's a good one if you want to read ahead. We are releasing these on Thursdays now instead of Mondays because of reasons.
Work schedules and whatnot.
Yes. As always, rate and review us on those places you can do that at.
Which is quite a few now.
Yeah, we need, spread the word. Tell everyone the good word of the Lord.
Or don't if you walk around cornrows.
Oh, you done it now, Jordy Verrill? You monkhead! You monkhead!